Yeah, I don't get to meet every one of our customers, which I need to change because I really do love getting to meet every one of our customers, especially hearing their stories and seeing the passion that they have to build their vision. So we didn't get the opportunity to work with with them right off the bat, but I like the way things played out because I think it gives them a different perspective, and also it's been great from a feedback perspective of what we can continue to invest in as far as our technology and how it operates. But just a quick background: flew into Austin in February of this year, 2020, right before the fun started.
Yep.
So I think that was my second to last trip, I think, before we were all kind of thrown into the bubble. But yeah, you got to spend some time and got to see their whole system. What I love about their setup is it's super open. So but you don't feel like you're hearing everyone's conversations. And then the way the kitchen's set up, where the cooler, everything's you can tell a lot of thought went into just the layout of the space to allow the guests to kind of be in there, but not on top of each other. And then as I'm sure they'll go into their exterior, they've got an outdoor area as well. And it's just, it's not fair to call it Austin because it's not, it's a little, what is it, west of Austin. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just wanted to kind of lay the intro out there. It's been, I've loved getting to meet them, hear their story, and I don't want to take anything away from their story. So I'm going to let them kind of jump in from my introduction and just take us through the journey that is Ozzy Tap House.
I had the pleasure to visit on site as well. One of the things that was my personal favorite is how much you've done for making sure that your establishment is positioned as family friendly. I love the playground. I love the touch with I think it was like a tea station where the kids could have their own self-pour fun, if I remember correct.
Yeah, it's a Pepsi product, stubborn soda. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the tapper.
It's a craft soda machine,
Yeah,
and it kind of resembles the wall with the handle, the way you pull the handles down.
It's right over.
It's amazing.
There.
Which I
So
think
cool.
is adding on the I see that. I think it's just adding to the fact that you're trying to make it inclusive for a whole family, which is amazing, and hopefully we can talk more about that later. I'll have you kick it off with your background. Like, how did you start with Ozzy Tap House? Why? Like, what was the thinking process there? And what background did you come from in this?
Well, let me start.
Good.
So I'm not going to give you the whole long story, but we met in a restaurant when I was 17.
And I was fresh out of the military. I was 24. I got done traveling the world. We were just friends, though, for the record.
So we've been together forever. We've been in the restaurant industry for 35 years combined.
Yep.
And we actually, believe it or not, moved to Austin to get out of the restaurant industry. And we came here to do real estate.
We wanted to flip homes.
Like Chip and Joanna Gaines. They were my favorite.
So what happened is we flipped a few homes, and then we're actually we renovated this restaurant here.
Wait, you got to back up. Right. So we came here, we were successful, but it was very stressful. And so I said, you know what, it's not working. I think we need to do something different. So I got a part-time job serving in a restaurant. And he sort of was almost lost in a way, that happens to people. And he was searching for cool concepts. And he found the whole self-pour beer and wine technology online, and he thought, oh my God, that is so awesome.
Right.
We've got to do this, Krista. This is our calling. We have to do this. I thought he was insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, it came from the philosophy of doing something bigger than yourself. Let's contribute to the community as best as possible. It's not about me now. It's about our kids, our community, and
Yeah, and we established roots here in the area we're at, considered 4 Points area of Austin, Texas, and we love it here. The schools are great. It's beautiful. We love the weather. Everything. We're here to stay. And so let's see. Then what? We started the process. A location opened up right down the street from where we lived. And it was a Mexican restaurant that went out of business. And we thought, oh my God, this is perfect. It has a lawn outside. It's got a great big patio. This would be perfect for families. We could put in a playground. And so the rest is history.
Krista got to fulfill her rehab bug.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously you can see it's gorgeous in here and rehabbed. And the cool thing is the second location we're looking at,
Same
same
thing.
thing. It's an older restaurant that needs lots of love. It's a perfect space, but we can turn it around, especially with this model.
Well, you pour beer and wine by the ounce. We didn't want to call it ounce, OUNCE. That was just kind of too dry.
Yeah.
So Sean thought, hey, that's kind of a cool twist on words, so to speak. And we knew that people would call us Oz Tap House. But that kind of creates more conversation because you get people, betting with each other. Like, no, it's Oz. No, it's ounce.
Well, we got a couple of drunken dials. They call the restaurants like, hey, we're having a debate at home. Is it ounce or Oz? And you just tell them. It's
So-
Oz.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Can you take us around just a little bit, if you don't mind? Is this a laptop? I think it would be great
for sure.
to show
Okay.
a little bit, what the space is like. It's been really helpful.
Yeah. Cool. So these are the 3 TVs over here. Really cool.
Okay, so I assume sports events are usually on when there's something relevant going on, right?
Yeah, we put up the sports events up there. We just hired a marketer, and she'll be in contact with you. That's Bree, and we can just cross promote all day long. There's our awesome wall. Woo!
Yeah, woohoo, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then, but people actually come inside from the front there, and then they walk in here to see the
Perfect. Question.
host check-in stand.
I see you put the graphic above. I see it most of so when you at the top of your beverage wall, you have the graphic on how it works at the top. Most of the time
Yes.
I see it like on the right or left. Do you feel like, do you still see enough customers like actually looking up if it's a self for first timers?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time they just go right to the beer and they pour as fast as they can.
Just thirsty and just want to solve that issue as fast as they can. Get it. That sounds like my problem. But the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of customers will do it at the eyesight level, and where the screens are, they'll do it on the left or right or possibly both. But yeah, as long as it works, that's great.
Cool thing, and so February 4th is when we transitioned to PourMyBeer, and we integrated with Toast, and they're doing great things, and they're going to continue to do great and greater things. And we did a trial run doing the auto, what's it called? Help me out.
Auto pay?
I don't know.
Is that what you're using?
No, the what's it called? Auto combine with Toast.
Okay.
So we did a trial run, didn't work. But we're working on a bug or two, but we're confident it's gonna kick some ass.
Yeah, that'll be a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize the integration was November last year, so it's in the infancy of this integration. So we're confident moving forward with PourMyBeer and Toast. Another cool thing I did was integrate Otter, which is a third-party delivery system, with all of our third parties. So what happens is that the third parties integrate directly into Toast.
So instead of having 4 different tablets, that you have to monitor and make sure nobody unplugs them and, just pay attention to them, instead of that, it goes through one system and then goes directly on our KDS, our kitchen display screens in the back, so that the kitchen doesn't have to deal with tickets, and they've got all the orders in the proper timed order on the screen. Yeah. Online orders, in-house orders, and third-party delivery.
It's super.
Yeah.
And so that's going. And as soon as our combined check integration goes forward, what I see in the future, and I might be crazy, is getting to be to have Toast hold a tab open and be able to scan that code at any point, and to order some more fries or something on that tab, and they can self-close.
Oh, you mean at their table?
Yeah, at their table. They can close it out at their table and everything like that. That's how I see it in my vision. That we're just one step away from that.
Now with COVID too, we have to think about a lot of different things like that. I mean, people they want to minimize everything that they're touching, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's where the QR codes come to place, for sure.
So what I was going to say is I love the direction you guys are going, and it kind of plays off a previous Fireside Chat we had about the restaurant of the future. So Branded Strategic is one of our investors, And two of the partner companies that we talked about, one sounds like it's the exact same as Otter, but it's called Chowly, CHOWLY.
We just dropped Chowly.
Make sure you don't say anything.
No, it's okay. No, it's great because Otter has a different build. They built their infrastructure different than Chowly.
Okay. So
not to say you
guys are doing the other thing is Bbot. So Bbot allows you to do all the ordering at the table. So literally the phone becomes the menu and the way they order and the way they pay their bill. So that they just scan it at the table and it pulls up the menu and they place the order and that's it. So, what we're trying to do, and this is kind of, I don't know, letting the cat out of the bag a little bit, but we want to make it so they can take the card, scan the card with their phone and open a tab and then they're done.
Cool.
That's cool.
We're down. Let's do it.
We'll be your guinea pig.
All day long. Let's go. Innovation and marketing.
I'll connect you with our friends at Beverage after the call, Sean and Krista. They're pretty awesome. I've tried that myself, cool. And it works magic. No touching it.
But we were using Chowly for 6 months? Yeah. What were the issues that we had? They couldn't.
I don't want to get into it. It's a long line of stuff.
Yeah, they pretty much couldn't take all 3 of the third-party delivery sites that we use and put them onto the.
I think they can do that now because they just upgraded and everything like that.
Too late.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into it.
I understand it. I mean, that's exactly why we do Fireside Chats, because we want to see. You already had some experience, so when somebody from PourMyBeer family is evaluating what they should go with, if you are satisfied with Otter, is that Otter? Am I pronouncing it? Is that the name? Yeah. If you're satisfied with it, it's more likely that they might want to try it too if it works really well for you. So it's a great recommendation. I'll definitely take it. What about other third parties? So you're using Toast as your POS. You're using Otter for your delivery. Is there any other third party? I think you're using Untapped, right?
Untapped. Yep. No, obviously with the PourMyBeer. So we're definitely using Untapped, and then we have the TV right there, up top, rotating out.
Do you feel like your community is actually looking up on the beer on the Untapped? Are they taking advantage? Yep.
Yep, and then they're checking in, and then you'll see their name at the bottom when they check in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a beer lover too, so I definitely do that. But every community depends on are they craft beer drinkers? Do you have enough of those? So that always plays a role.
Well, we follow you on Untapped, Tanya.
Say it again.
Nothing. I'm just kidding.
I did do a lot of checking when I was at your place, and that was early in the morning, which probably wasn't the best. But I mean, you guys had a lot of good beers there. So let's transfer to the Beverage Wall and your offering. My favorite is the craft beers, which, by the way, is amazing what you have there. But are there any other drinks that you're offering? What's your setup and offering?
Yeah, we have 2 ciders, and we have 7 wines, and we also have a boozy sparkling water similar to Truly or White Claw.
Nice.
That's it. I mean, back burner right now are craft cocktails. So,
yeah, we're kind of on the fence.
Right, and then if we do it at all in our next couple stores, we probably would do a sidewall or something like that, to where we would have to pour it.
Because the TABC won't allow the self-pouring of alcohol.
Liquor.
Yeah, so we would have to probably pour it for them.
Okay.
We'll see.
Might be worth to check with Dreamland on that down the road, because I wouldn't be surprised if they planned to do some cocktails. So, how do they go about it? Might be worth
check with
Dreamland.
Okay, got it.
With that new big venue, because since they're going to have so many taps, I really wouldn't be surprised if they planned that. So, and we do have more and more customers starting to pour cocktails. There's definitely a lot of opportunity to save money and just, make the business sales higher. So. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Can you quickly just take us through the beer wall? Do you have it separated as a section? If I remember correct, I think you have IPAs there, right? It's easier.
Yeah, it goes by style. So it goes by style. So basically, you're going to see starting over here our wines, or 7 wines on tap. It goes to ciders, and then light to dark beers to our craft, our barrel aged beers on the other side there.
Mm-hmm. Question, did you start with it this way, or did you, based on the needs of your customers, looking confused? Is that why you started making the section?
Well, we started it this way, and we actually bought this really cool poster online, and this kind of helped us figure out, what styles to put in what order.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then we worked with our providers or distributors, and then just kind of came up with it. It's pretty cool. Too hard ale. Let's go.
Makes me thirsty. Okay,
I'm
let's go back
telling
to
you.
the table.
Let me pour you one real quick.
And a little bit more about marketing and your branding and positioning. There's just so much you can say because I've seen what Krista does and I have seen what you guys are trying to create on the side. So maybe 2 of your favorite things that really worked well for you in terms of marketing would be good to share with the family.
Well, I got a good one. When we first opened, so we opened in February, but then football season started, in the fall. And we started to get engaged with the local schools here. And we're really close to a high school, Vandergrift High School, and they are so into football, Vandergrift Vipers. And so we got in with them and ran like a couple fundraisers. And then we started what was it called? Friday? I can't even remember what we were calling it. But it was on Friday nights, and people would swamp us and come and eat before and after the games. And it was awesome. And it was like we were a great support system for the local school. Yeah. What else? I mean, since COVID, obviously everything calmed down a lot. So now we're doing a lot of social media marketing.
We're doing a lot of social media marketing. I mean, there's a lot of marketing opportunities out there that it's kind of difficult to get to as we created this. It's a new concept, so we've been kind of trial and error throughout this last year and a half, and we've pretty much come to where we need to be on our model. Now we just hired Brianne, like I told you, for marketing, so she can actually get to all those opportunities because in any business it's marketing and innovation. Well, innovation's going strong. But marketing is the next biggest opportunity.
And we try to post about each new beer that we put on the wall. And we were doing trivia on Wednesday nights before COVID. And that was really, really awesome for us.
Right. So right now what's going to happen is, Bree's going to do 3 social posts a week at minimum, and then do a email marketing campaign, combining all of those posts together. And then, of course, we'll probably do a promo.
Something that was really successful for us, too, and I am not very tech savvy. I'm not very into social media. I don't even have an Instagram account myself. None of that. But we invited a few food bloggers for a restaurant, and they took a bunch of pictures of our food and they posted it, and that was in exchange for us like feeding them for free and then also paying them something as well. And oh my gosh, that helped a lot. And then just kind of organically, there was this one really popular food blogger, and was she Instagrammer? Anyway, she ordered one of our pretzel charcuterie boards. So it's like a giant soft jumbo pretzel filled with a bunch of like cheese and meat and, fruits and stuff like that. And she got it to go, and she took it home with her, and she took a picture of it, and she posted about it. Oh my gosh, it was like overnight
we sold out of pretzels.
It was insane to say the least. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So all that is really helpful.
Quick tip for the community: how did you reach out in order for them to have like action item? How do you reach out to those food bloggers, or how did you reach out to some of those Instagrammers?
We had a manager back in the day that was young. She was 24, so she gave us some. I don't know how she discovered who they were. I think just by Googling it and also knowing people that knew really popular food bloggers in Austin. Yeah. But it has to be local to your area as well. That helps.
Exactly. My general tip for you is, particularly you're in Austin area, you can look up hashtags on Instagram that are your specific. So for example, Austin food, Austin yum, like whatever it is that is high trending hashtags that has a lot of engagement and really, it has millions of followers, for example, or at least really, really high number. And if you look that up, the first top rating posts are going to be by people that are having strong followers, because there's going to be a lot of those likes. So those are the people that you then want to click, look at their Instagram, what it looks like, if it aligns with your brand and if it aligns with what you think their community is, and they have a lot of followers in the food space, then these guys are somebody who you want to DM, like direct message, and you want to say like, hey, we want to offer you this and this. That's how you kind of want to reach out to them and talk to them. This really costs so very little, and you can get so much out of it that I recommend 100% every PourMyBeer family members should be doing this and reaching out, at least once a month, have one influencer come in. What do you lose? You lose one free meal and maybe give them a little gift card for next time, so they bring more friends and they can check it out again. It's great. It's a very powerful tool for sure.
Yeah, it was. I'm a believer now for sure.
Awesome. Well, make sure that Bree, your new marketer, is doing that as well and reaching out to those influencers and bloggers. Another thing I wanted to ask here in the marketing section, you mentioned several things that worked really well for you, which is awesome, but there are typically some things that don't work that well. So can you let us know maybe a couple of things that were a possible disappointment to you when it comes to marketing and branding that you had to,
yes.
change?
We are a big believer in door-to-door old school marketing where you send out mailers to let people know that you're here.
Not door-to-door, but just like regular USPS mailers.
Yeah. And we've had a couple successes, but right before COVID, we did one with a local magazine here, and I don't think we received any flyers back. Actually, I take that back. There were like 2, and we spent a lot of money on that. So that's kind of hit or miss. It's probably different for everybody in whatever area they're in, but you got to do your research when you're doing that for sure.
Definitely.
But I do think that when you open a new store, it's very important because you have to let the local residents know that you're there.
Yeah. What about some PR? Have you ever, paid for any article or to be included in like Austin Eater or anything like that?
Right in the beginning, we had a bunch of them. It was actually all organic, mostly actually all organic.
You know what? It's hard to know some of those. I mean, it's not like the person's going to come in all the time and say, hey, I heard about you guys through Austin Eater. So it's really hard to gauge what the return on investment is.
Right in the beginning, though.
But we had a lot of free news articles and stuff like that written about us as well. Okay. So, I mean, anything free is awesome, right? Can't hurt.
Absolutely. Did you actually try to engage with any of the publications, or was it just organic PR with like word of mouth? Hey, there's this new thing opening.
I might have reached out to one.
Oh, maybe in the very beginning when we first opened, because we were doing a crowdfunding campaign. One of the requirements was that we also reach out to some local newspapers and stuff.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your family positioning? I already gave away the secret that you have a playground outside, but can you tell me a little bit more why playground and anything else you're doing for family positioning?
Because afternoon, mom and dad want to have a beer and chill out, and it's fenced in, so they just let the little toddler play and
I got a good little history on that. So my mom is like 49 years older than me, and I'm sorry, 39 years older than me. And growing up with her, when I had my children and they were little, now they're 12 and 14, but when they were 1, 2, 3 years old, we would go out to eat with her, and she would get so mad that my kids weren't sitting still in their high chair the entire time we were eating dinner for like an hour. And my kids would want to get up and they would want to run around, and sometimes there wasn't anything to play with, and it would drive her nuts. And I told myself, when we open a restaurant, we need to have something fun for kids to play, to make it to where parents don't feel bad, like it's not allowed, and like they have to make their child sit still the whole time that they're sitting there. So pretty much it might have been a little bit of vengeance on my mom.
If she only knew.
I love my mom. She's wonderful, but that just drives me nuts.
Crazy.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
Let the parents enjoy themselves and let the kids get their energy out. That's the bottom line.
Final
That's actually a nice part. I think we should share this Fireside Chat video with your mom after it's done.
No.
No worries. I want.
She's a tough German woman. No.
I wanted to add here on that whole thinking process. Anybody who's trying to position them as a family friendly, it also really helps for the parents to want to stay around longer, because if they see that their children are having fun and playing, then you probably see that reflected in your beverage sales. Like, oh, let's grab one more beer. The kids are having fun. So you will
Very
be
true.
that, right? Yeah.
Beverage sales goes up. Yeah. And we have 1 hour ticket times on food too, so they have more beer as well.
1 hour tickets.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just joking.
I get it. It's the way we're doing it in Czech Republic, my home country as well. Like a lot of bars have playgrounds, and it's very common. Like I grew up that way. I didn't even think that my parents are there to have a beer. I thought that I'm there to play. That was my reasoning in my head, and I was unhappy when they were done drinking. I was like, I want to stay longer. So I think it's a terrific thing, and I don't know why more U.S. businesses don't do that. In Czech, it's so common. I don't get it that here it's more like you only see it in McDonald's, and they don't have any fun for adults.
Well, the next 2 locations are being negotiated with PlayScape.
And I've got to say, it's really funny as we're going through the process of looking for second and third locations. It's almost like we get pushback from everybody along the way. You know what I mean? Like they just don't understand why it's so critical for us to have a playground. Like we're fighting tooth and nail to be able to have a playground at our next locations.
Or at least a caged area for toddlers, and then another area for entertainment outside.
I think it's still a little bit passe over here for the American culture to combine the playground, fun for kids, and fun for adults, which is like, it's much healthier than for the kids to watch the drinking, if you think about it, right? Like they're playing, they're so distracted. So in a way, it makes much more sense.
Well, I think too that a lot of people are scared that they can face lawsuits when kids get hurt. So, you got to make sure you have really good.
Have you had any troubles? Have you had any troubles with that? You've been open for 2 years now, right?
We have not. We do have a disclaimer sign on our playground that says, like, we're not responsible for watching your kids. Please keep an eye on them, basically. And then what was I going to say? The second location that we signed a letter of intent on, they used to have a playground in a common area. And from the Google photos, we got excited. We were like, oh my gosh, they have a playground. That's awesome. And we get there and we find out it's removed because of a lawsuit, and the property manager decided to take it out. But the patio that was enclosed on this space was big enough to where it looks like they're going to agree to us having our own playground that's closed to just our customers. And then they don't have to have it be like a common
right, and on top of that giant courtyard out back.
Yeah. So there's ways around it. Let's put it that way.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Great.
Just to close up the marketing really quick. I don't know. Do we have to close up the marketing?
I don't know. What do you have to say?
I don't know. We're kind of flattered. A lot of the interest. There's been a lot of interest in local jurisdictions and other communities. So a few of the mayors of the local communities have reached out to us. So, Cedar Park mayors, they've reached out to us. Leander, we drove around with the Leander mayor. Bee Cave mayor, we're meeting them next Monday. Just to be this model to be in their town, because it is family friendly, and all the neighborhoods around here are family centric. So that's kind of nice to be, sought out as opposed to pitching.
But I think the other reason that that's happening for us is not only is it a cool concept with the self-pour, but also reviews. We have like 4.7 stars right now because our food is good and customer service is great, even in this model. And that has really helped us out. I mean, if you can imagine, when people are wondering about a certain concept or business, they're going to look you up and they're going to look at your reviews. And when it's 4.7 stars, they're like, okay, they've got something.
They're going to look at your reviews too.
Your reviews. Yeah.
When you mentioned 4.7, is that Yelp? Is that Google? Facebook?
That was Google. Yelp. I don't ever see that happen. Ever. No,
Yelp seems to be a place where people that are mad go to complain. Yeah. So we have 4.04 stars on Yelp, which is not bad for Yelp, but
really good. Like I have seen some stats where literally any restaurant that will have 4 and above will have more visitors coming in just based on that. So it's very helpful. How are you eliciting that feedback? This might be really helpful for our family. How are you making sure, obviously some of them are just going to be organic. People are happy, love the place, and they'll go and write their review. But is there something that you are proactively doing to make sure that you're getting new ones and, it's improving?
Yeah, well, first thing we had to do is change our POUR system, our POS system in the beginning, because it wasn't allowing us to, to do tips. So it was kind of archaic in that fashion. That's why we switched the PourMyBeer toast combo. And once we switched to that, there was nothing, but.
So now, in other words, the guest can do whatever tip they want on their own rather than us adding something automatically, which made a lot of people mad, and understandably.
Yeah. And of course, now the PourMyBeer screens are more intuitive.
And I mean,
On top of that.
this was our first concept. So we've tweaked little things along the way. I mean, we used to not have a soda fountain station, only bottled non-alcoholic beverages, and now we've got one. So we listened to the community with what they wanted, and I feel like we've dialed it in now.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and of course we keep evolving, like we talked about with Josh in the beginning. You know, we want to be that innovative, concept. Oz has got to, be in the forefront of this. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Quick question before I hop into KPS, which is Josh's favorite. Are you planning to have your next 2 locations also in the Austin area, so they're close to you, or do you plan
Yeah,
to
Avery Ranch, Leander, Bee Cave.
25-minute drive away. So yeah.
If everything's split by 30-minute drives, we're good to go for now to start. Because our kids are still in school, so we'll keep everything local here. And then we can, then at that point, we can look at other markets, i.e. Dallas, North Houston.
How do you measure and define your success? Like, is it the beverage sales you're looking at? And the classics would be beverage sales and food sales. But is there anything else that you are measuring on a weekly basis or daily basis that's defining your success, that you are like, okay, this is going in the right direction? Like, we want to be doing this and doing more of this.
For me, it's sales and reviews.
Yeah, me too.
Right
there with her.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we get a lot of verbal, like, you're walking through the restaurant and somebody says, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing concept. Don't go anywhere. We love you guys. We're so happy we found you.
Put one in Cedar Park.
Yeah, put one in Cedar Park.
That's awesome. If you can tell us a little bit more about sales, what's the percentage like for the beverage compared to food sales?
At 60-40.
Funny you ask.
So it's actually 40 alcohol, 60% food.
And we thought it was going to be the opposite coming into this.
Right. So for February 1st, 2019, that first month was opposite. It was 60-40. So our gut feeling right in the beginning put us at a 51% liquor license or BG license, and now we're going to a blue, which saved us through COVID, by the way. So I had to prove my numbers so we could stay open.
So that we wouldn't be considered a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Question. I think that might have a lot to do that you said you've been tweaking your menu, right? So initially the menu wasn't probably maybe right there yet where it needed to be for your targeted market. And
yes. And also everything is in the name. So we called ourselves Ounce Tap House. People think, oh, it's a tap house, beer. So we had a lot of people coming in going, do you guys have food? And we were like, yes, we have amazing food. So not only did we tweak the menu over the last year and a half, but also people now know that we have food. But I think going forward, we might kind of rebrand ourselves a bit and call it Ounce Tap House and Grill, so that people understand that we have food.
Yeah, it's interesting how much the name really can give away and unfortunately confuse them too.
For sure.
For sure, yeah.
I want to apologize for being late today because we were actually trying our new crispy chicken tacos, which are flipping amazing.
Oh my God, they look, and I like that beer. Do it.
Well, that beer is really good from Turning Point. It's $1.08 an ounce. It's delicious. Sorry.
All right, I'm getting to the car. It's only like 16 hours road trip for me.
Yeah.
One more question here regarding the KPIs. You said, Krista, that reviews are big for you. Reviews, what do you look at? Like, is your goal to have at least 3 new 5-star reviews every week, or what's your goal for the reviews?
That's actually what we're trending right now. We're getting probably about 3 reviews a week, right?
You know what? I don't really have a goal because they keep coming. So I guess if we weren't receiving reviews, then I'd probably be like, all right, what do we need to do to get more reviews? But we don't really do anything, and
just
happening.
Yeah. I don't know.
Go with the common sense approach. Give them what they
It's a lot of it. Customer service.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I can't preach that enough, because if you go into a place and you feel like you're not attended to and nobody cares and all the people that work there are in a bad mood, I mean, why do you want to go to a place like that, So we hire personality because you can train anything, you know what I mean? You can, So
you can't train personality. That's
exactly.
I was just going to say, from a rewards perspective, do you track that, and do you have kind of monthly goals as far as adding people to your rewards program?
Yeah, we just started digging into the rewards, so we're in the infancy of that, and so as we bring Bree on, we are having our weekly. It's only been a week or so with our new marketing manager, and we are going to be sitting down with that, looking at the reviews, getting back to them, and then and now start tracking more on the reward side, putting promos together and stuff like that.
But we have signage up. We have signage up, and then obviously it asks everybody when they're checking out if they want to become a part of the rewards program. So then it gives us an opportunity to talk about it. And we have a quick one-liner to kind of explain what it is to people. And yeah, a lot of people get excited about it.
Yeah, and then the previous concept that, we would hold contests like, hey, if you sign up this many people, you get a free donut. You know what I mean? We'll end up doing stuff like that eventually. So.
Now we have a marketer, so.
I would just, we always like to share good ideas from other successful entrepreneurs too. And one of our locations in Chicago, they have it in the employee section where it tracks like who signed up the most rewards people and what their current rewards numbers are. And then also a big one they track is the percentage of business that's from repeat customers, because they view that as a metric that's a very the more repeat users you have, I think it's a testament to what you guys are building. So just like to share that. But
yeah,
good. Thank you.
To be honest, we haven't yet spent a ton of time on that, but yeah.
You're focusing on the right things though. I love what you said about focus on the attitude. You can train other things, but if they have a bad attitude, you can't really untrain that. And also I can tell you guys have done some reading because I've read that in a lot of really good management books too. So.
I wanted to ask more. You just mentioned some important things like you survived the crazy pandemic and you're doing well despite the fact that we are in the crazy midst of pandemic. So I wanted to ask more about your strategy.
Us switching to Toast and PourMyBeer couldn't have been better timing because Toast had an amazing online ordering system.
So
we launched that like 2 weeks before we got shut down by the governor.
Mm-hmm.
And
it went
through the roof. I mean, we got so lucky to have that capability to be able to put up curbside pickup signs out front. And then it was like we switched to a all online model for a few months, couple months.
So yeah. Even though we're not full in-house, seating or whatever.
We're at 75% occupancy right now in Austin.
Right, and so we're not too busy inside, but the thing is
we're still busy.
Yeah, we were, especially last Friday. We actually hit a record week last week, all-time record. Not only pre-COVID, but the whole time we've been open.
That's terrific! Oh my God, that's so good to hear.
Yeah.
So systems are so important, and that's what helped us get through it. And adjustment.
That's why luckily we get people like you coming eventually to us.
Good partners.
Good partners.
Thank you. We appreciate that feedback. Quick question though, specifically for customers, you said that you're at the 75% occupancy right now. What are you doing in terms of like, hey, let's feel safe? Like obviously, probably maybe hand sanitizers. What is it that you're doing right now specifically to make the customers feel safe?
Great question, Tanya.
Yes. That's funny. We have hand sanitizer stations everywhere. We actually changed out all of our tap handles. They used to be, the unique tap handles from every individual brewery, and those were a lot harder to sanitize. So during COVID right now, we've changed to the plain black ones that are super easy and quick to sanitize for our employees. So we have a sanitizer bucket near the wall, and they go down the aisle and wipe down the handles and the tablets on a regular basis. We also installed foot pools for all of our doors so that guests can open the door with their foot.
Yeah.
So they don't have to touch it.
So we also recreated our paper menu so that we've pretty much gone to that. We've created also
we used to have, the menu that people hold that's like plastic, and we were sanitizing it on a regular basis, but now we went to paper because we also put out the QR code for the menu so that we don't go through as many menus, so it's not as costly.
Yeah, so we made those for the tables. Yeah. So yeah, fun.
That sounds great.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Are you making it that customers have to wear masks when they're at the wall? Like they can only use
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Anytime they're walking around,
Yeah. Every time they get up,
they have to wear the mask.
Yeah. Masquerade.
That makes sense. Okay, these are
And
great.
that's not just I believe that's
mandated.
That's mandated here in the area we're in.
I love this question, but a year from now, there's a bottle of champagne in front of us. What are we celebrating with you guys?
A year from now?
2 more locations that are successful?
Yep, 100%. Wait a second. Let me think of the timeline. A year from now, what's today?
You cut out for a little bit there, so we may have missed the beginning of that
But
question.
I heard champagne, so that's all that matters.
I said it's a year from now. There's a bottle of champagne in front of us. What are we celebrating?
So it's going to be store 2, and then you may be out building a wall in store 3.
Some things that like people don't know about us is that we've tried and tried and tried and tried in life to have success. And I'm sure that everything along the way and all of our failures essentially have brought us to where we are today. So that's fabulous.
Success is alike though.
Just to have a store that made it through a pandemic and is successful and we're paying our bills and then to have a second store, I mean, I can't ask for anything else, you know?
Nah.
Don't forget about the kids. Kids are healthy. That's good too.
Breathing.
Well, now they're at the age where they can become, free labor too, right?
Well,
no. They're not free.
No,
our son is working here. He's 14.
Well, our 12-year-old worked through the summer too. Girl.
Because it's legal here if we're here, if her parents are here and her parents are 50% owners or something like that, some percentage of ownership. It's legal to have your 12-year-old kid working with you. So, but she's got a little bit of social anxiety. But our 14-year-old son, amazing. Everyone loves him. He plays with the kids on the playground and busses tables like it wouldn't be. Yeah, he takes after us for sure.
He does, 100%.
I love it.
He loves it.
I did the same, guys. My dad had a pub when I was growing up, so I was always pouring beers. Unfortunately, we didn't have a PourMyBeer system, so I had to be the one pouring. But I did the same.
That must have been rough.
I mean, you can kind of imagine where my passion for beer comes from, right? It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
I want to just ask one last question as like your secret sauce. If you can give us one, and each can say one because you can have a different one, but if you have a secret sauce on any aspect of your business, why you think it's successful, what would you say that is for the PourMyBeer family?
Lead with love.
Lead with love. That actually goes into the employees too. You have to take care of them.
Employees first.
Yeah,
Vendor second, and customers.
Just every part of it. You can retain your employees if you give them what they want. So that goes to scheduling. You know what I mean? Make sure that you give them the time off that they're requesting and that
feed them.
If they're going to school, you work with their school schedule. Surprise them every once in a while. Bring cookies or donuts to the restaurant.
Having a baby, give them
care. I mean, we go through employees still, but you just
not that much though.
Have to care. It's a people business at the end of the day.
Damn Skippy.
It doesn't surprise me to see something like that because I love that. It doesn't surprise me at all. I recently read a book, Hack Your Customers. It's by Jack Mitchell, I believe. Have you ever heard about it? It's like you wrote it.
You don't read.
You don't read.
It's a great book. I recommend it to everyone. I don't think you need to read it because you probably wrote it and are just using fake name. But it's a great book where it really recommends on how much does it help when you run your business by heart, and I know you two do for sure. So that's amazing. Thank you.
Hi.
Awesome. Later. Bye.